I'm good. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm still on the wake up list. I'm great.
Every day you wake up.
Man, we done lost some of our coldest, some of our nearest and dearest, man. You know that we
True.
share love with. You know what I mean? Man, it's been for me, dog, it's been rough, man. But I keep going.
And that's the kind of thing I want to start out with. I want to let you know personally that I look at you as a brother who has, and I don't think a lot of people get it because, you're always jovial, you kicking it, you laughing. You know what I'm saying? You're always having a good time, you smiling. But you have endured a lot.
Man, yeah, man. It's been
You know
uh
what I'm saying?
it's been
That
a
that's
it's been a journey. But you know what, man? I'm on the wake up list, man. Every day I wake up on the wake up list. I feel like I don't have the option or I shouldn't have the audacity to complain. My grandmother always taught me, no matter how bad you think you are, there's somebody a million times worse off than you. And you know, there's so many people that depend on me within my house and even outside of my family circle that just depend on the things that I say, the things that I do to have a good showing. I just
right.
and I'm just recently over the last 3 or 4 years learning how to take care of me. It's hard when because sometimes people they don't believe that you have a weak moment because you're always so strong, and they look at you and be like, "Oh, he good, he cool." But I tell people, I say, man, the reason why I laugh and joke so much is because I'm crying on the inside. But
Mm,
I'm in therapy. But because I don't, there's everybody's going through something, man. So I told,
yes.
and I saw this, especially when my sister passed. I said, the people that you least, because during that time, the people that I really expected to be there were like nowhere to be found. And then it was just people out the clear blue that I hadn't talked to or never did anything for that rode with me the whole bike trail, man. And it's just amazing, where you find your strength, man. You gotta figure out how to find it in yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Through God and through yourself. And that's all in here anyway.
And it's been quite a journey for you. Let's take it back to your inspiration for So Alone.
Man, I can tell you this. I wish I had written that song. That song was written by Gerald Levert and Tony Nicholas to pay homage to my mother when she had passed away. The crazy thing, we had just got with them and signed the contracts, and then a couple months later she was out of here. So it was that was a tumultuous time for me, man. It was kind of crazy, dog. But I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No
I'm
doubt,
still
no doubt.
standing.
It seems like
Sound like white chicks, didn't I?
we deal with these losses, and it seems like one loss prepares us for the next loss. Yeah. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
when I tell my story of the people that have gone on, people normally have a list. Man, yeah, I know, man. I lost like 22 people last year from COVID, man. How many of them were how many of them were so close to you that if you peeled the scab off, you would bleed? That close. How many were that close? You peel the scab off and you bleed. And I think sometimes people just can't stand the fact, no matter whether your story is a good one or a bad one, that they have to outtalk you, they have to outshine you, they have to outstory you. Penis measure, if you will.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody want to measure their penises everywhere. I'm not into that. I'm not into that.
yeah. It's crazy how everybody makes it a competition. They always want to one up you. Pain is pain.
Yeah, and I really, I mean, I know they hear me talk about it all the time, but I'm so thankful for the people out there that do care, and that I'm always having to talk about it. And at home, they be like, "Why you always talking about it?" Because I don't get a chance not to, because people are concerned. They call and they checking on you, and they ask you, they texting you. So and I'm appreciative of it. I really am. Man, it's been rough, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this last one, with
Uh,
Gemini, man,
yeah,
that would knock me in my head because it wasn't expected, and it's so weird because the last conversation I had with him, was almost verbatim to the last conversation I had with Gerald Levert.
Really?
We've had our history of love, and I don't want to ever say hate though, but like brothers do, you fight, you get into some stuff. DC, what up? You get into some things, and the first time we kind of fell out, I was wrong for how I handled the situation, and we patched that up. Then there was always people trying to, get in the middle of our relationship. With that garbage, making up stuff, lying, or it was stuff that they were actually doing, and they would try to pin it on me and Jason and stuff like that. And his last words were, "Man, I'm tired. I'm tired of all this shit." That was the last words he said to me. 2 weeks
Wow.
later, 2 weeks later, G was gone. Then I had, me and Jim and I had kind of had a differences in the way business should be handled, and I think in part because he never had a chance to see it like Jason saw it. Like I saw it on that big, huge platform. Like our last go round, we went to number 14 on the Urban AC charts in 2016 with a record called Day Night. So he saw it somewhat how it's supposed to be done on a big, but he saw it because Scotty did it real big, even though it didn't ride like that. And then his guys came along and they did it real big. So he saw it, but he didn't see it. You get what I'm saying? And
Oh
so
yeah.
some of the things that he was doing, I just really didn't agree with. And man, we had a kind of a miscommunication on it, and he was like, I've been here," and he was right. He was here since '96, with 25 years. So he earned his right to do things. But I'm saying you don't want people to look at you like you're local. You want people to
Right.
always think of you in that national spotlight, no matter what you do. If it's not as incredible as the first two things that we did, they still gonna hold you in that light. And just kind of some of the things he was doing, we kind of, but me and Jason had a serious kumbaya moment. And like him and I, the group didn't break up because we had a difference. We broke up because he was getting ready to go to the Lord. And
Right.
I really wasn't like, because that's when I was heavy in Canton. I remember somebody had something, and I was heavy in Canton doing shows down there by myself, and I was doing the JY with C Love, and then we was performing there and other places. I remember a time we did something and Sheldon was there, like he was my bodyguard and stuff. I don't know where we said we was at some. It was some place where I came in. They was walking me in like I was Rush Limbaugh, Eddie Murphy, or somebody.
You know how we do down here. You know the
Man,
hospitality crazy
I
down here.
love. I remember when I was doing my solo thing before, and you was taking me around Maslin and all the other spots. But man, Canton is, man, I love Canton, man. All the things we did down there. But me and Jason, I guess it was just time. And for me right now, I'm on a solo mission because I see so many people not waking up and finishing their plans. And I'm like, dogs, I want to do me, and I keep doing me, and then I keep getting pulled back in here. But I wanted to do a legacy piece. I don't think a lot of these artists, even the ones at the top, realize how important a legacy piece is for your collection. And him and I, we had this face to face on Facebook where we talked and put everything on the table. And I know I was straightforward about everything. And I
Right.
told him, I said, this ain't nothing personal. I said, you and Jim and I both this is business. And that's what it is. And we have some incredible records. Like, Jason was always. I remember one time we were in New York one time, and that's the time we got into it with Naughty by Nature up there in New York. And he kept saying, man, God is telling me something that we shouldn't go, man. We shouldn't go. We was going to Sharky's. If you saw the movie Sharky's, the club Salt and Pepper had, we was
Yeah.
going there for a party. Now, man, we had just finished doing the Good video. We was in New York. We was paid. And you know what I was going to do? I was going to the club
Right.
in
Get your one
NY,
too.
in
Yeah.
NY, in NY.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he kept saying, man, we shouldn't go. We shouldn't go. We get in the limo, the axle or whatever the shocks go. Boom. He was like, man, we shouldn't go. I'm telling you, that's a message from God. I was like, man, look, you stay your ass here and pray, nigga. I'm going to play. The next car, what up, Shadi? The next car came and the same thing happened again. Boom. I don't know if it was the shocks or the axle. So the record company sent another car, and then we made it there, and that's when we got it. What had happened that day was Naughty by Nature was on the radio because they was mad at the song You Me. I say I ain't down with OPP because and it was a big thing and all that,
Right.
and so. But this time when he said it, I felt it. We was in the studio. He was like, man, I just, in his pastor voice, man, I just think that this is God wants us to do this. It's God says that it's time. And I think really God has something for us. And I'm like, all right, nigga. So it was July 13th. And July 13th, I think 2014 was like the last big show that we did when we did that tribute to Gerald with Full Force and Mickey Howard and the Rude Boys and Levert 2. And I can't believe I love her so much, the comedian from Cleveland, Shaker. Anyway, big titties, real big, light skin, pretty lady. She was in next Friday. I forgot. Sugar. Anyway, she was there. She hosted.
Okay.
Then the day we had got back in the studio again to cut the first record we had was 7/13. So when we finished and we talking and he started going back into his God scribe again, the engineer, the white guy says, "Hey, I'm just listening to you guys, and I don't know if you know or not, but the guy sent the track over here and it's titled 7/13." I was like, all right, let's go with it. So, the whole summer of the quarantine of last year, we've been recording. And Kim Whitley, thanks, C Love. And it's an incredible piece, man. I have to send you a couple of those records and let you hear them. Some incredible pieces,
Yeah.
man. And it's like we never stopped being together. It's like we never stopped recording. And, the sound that we have is, it's just something that I didn't have with Gemini. And people ask me who was
Right.
better. I can't say. It's like asking who's the best between LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe or Dr. J.
Yeah.
Everybody had their impact and their greatness. One just did a couple things better than the other one. I don't think anyone is better totally than any of them. They
Yeah.
just have things that they do. But I know my man Gemini, every night he would hit that damn high note at the end of So Alone, flawless. And
Just bring different stuff to the table.
man, yeah, yeah, man, definitely. But yeah, man, yeah, I kind of lost track of what I was saying. I've been talking like a mug, man. I lost
That's
it.
cool. That's yeah. So, man, just trying to figure out the legacy joint. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a
Now,
legacy piece.
now you said you're in therapy.
Man, I stay in therapy, man, for my head, man. Because if I didn't, I'm saying if I just didn't have the fighting spirit, the spirit of my grandmother Frances Tolliver in me to just fight,
Mhm.
fight, fight, and then on top of the therapy, man, I'd probably just be in and lay in bed popping pills, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Be like, be out, dog. Just real talk. I just be asleep, and
Because
like this.
I can imagine being up under that spotlight. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations. You always want to try to live up to. And some of the expectations are unfair.
Well,
You know,
I stopped trying to impress people. I just go out and I do what I do, and normally it's accepted and it's applauded. And I stopped having a chip on my shoulder a long time ago. I just want excellence when I'm out, when I'm doing whatever I do. If I'm in a play, if I'm on stage singing at a concert, or if I'm just out in public. Sometimes I tend to lose my lose my ground sometime. But I still move with respect and excellence when I'm out, man. Unless I'm with C Love, because then everything is off the table. Then.
yeah, hang with C Love can definitely be a what's the term? Adventure.
Yeah, man. When you would see Love, man, ain't no telling what'll happen. You know what I mean? That dude, yeah, that's my guy,
Man,
man.
we done all had some adventures with C Love. But I think that's dope because a lot of times our people, especially, we tend to brush off going to get therapy or seeking counseling for whatever reason.
Right.
I can't really understand it. I think probably stereotypes.
People's pride, it's their pride, man. People are
Hmm.
embarrassed. People are embarrassed to be open and upfront about their
Vulnerable.
lie. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're scared to be transparent, man. They're scared to be naked, man. And that's something we got to get over, man. Because I think in those in those type of terms, especially if you have children, man. If you keep passing on them bad seeds, going down, then it's not going to be good for them. It's important to be honest with your kids about who you are, who you were, how you
yeah,
changed. If you didn't change, then you're still working. What your regrets were. Everything is very important to be honest with them. To me, and if you don't find any healing for yourself, that's just going to just keep matriculating across the generations, man. It's not, you know
no,
oftentimes because they don't know what the nakedness will expose. I know
yeah,
the naked is good all the time. I don't care
yeah.
if it's physical, mental, or spiritual. Naked is good. Remember
Everybody
that.
getting,
my daughter
everybody
look,
getting naked.
my daughter looking at me like I'm the biggest ass on the planet. I said everything good naked. She said, "Oh my God, Dad."
It's the truth, because if nobody else, you got to be honest with yourself.
Hey, when you naked, you can't lie about anything. You got, and I'm talking about physically. When you naked, you can't get out of it. Especially if you naked physically, you can't even lie about it no more. And you had a different
Yeah,
you had a different angle on that when you sent me the picture before.
and you better hope it ain't cold.
man, man, that's crazy. Al
Man,
Mecca,
what's my
what's
brother,
up,
man.
man? Yeah,
Trying to do my thing, man, and I needed you
I'm
because I
here.
know you got a story to tell. You, like I said, man, you've been through a lot
Hmm.
emotionally, and like I said, the to be able to keep your spirit up, I guarantee you, nobody would ever be able to tell that you really been through a lot.
Man, because people don't care. Man, all the stuff I've been going through since the end of 19 when my wife and I walked away from an accident they said we shouldn't have walked away from. Then 3 weeks later, my sister passes. But then all the stuff from the years before just piling on. I mean, me being injured from a surgery in '06, saying that I'm not claiming that's going to keep me like this for the rest of my life, but it's a hardship, and every step is a reminder every time and so it's like, damn. But people, when you understand people, then you keep going, man. I'm not depending on anybody to be there for me. I'm not depending on anybody to be there when I'm down or whatever. I just keep going and I figure it out myself. People be like, what happened to you? I'd be like, man, I had to go in stealth mode and just do me for a minute. I had to love on me. I had to figure that out, man, before I lose it. Because I tell you
Yeah,
this, like this last time, I said, damn, I just didn't really know how. I didn't even really cry as much as I normally do. It just felt like a house fell on top of me. I couldn't feel it, but I knew I was hurt. I knew it was a
yeah,
big, it was a big blow, Thunny. And I was like, damn. But I have to keep going, man. I have to keep going. Like I said before, there's so many people that depend on me, but I'm dependent on myself because there's so much other stuff that I want to accomplish. And I can't do that being sick. You start panicking and worrying and stuff like that. You'll make yourself sick. And fortunately, I don't get sick. I stay vitamin up. I try not to put too much junk in my body. But this is the key. You could be working out and be muscular like Tony Atlas and fall out from something. That stress will
yeah.
kill you. That stress will kill you.
We
Worry and pain, stress.
deal with a lot of professional athletes.
Yeah, because people never realize the pressure that's put upon them. They probably get so much, critique and criticism on them because they make this much money, have an off night, you getting a death threat. Then you got to go home and somebody you ain't talked to or your father you ain't never met before coming at you. Let me get this. Let me get that. Chicks trying to frame you or guys trying to rob and steal from you, man. It's a never ending cycle, man. How we try to destroy each other all the time, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think for me personally, especially as of lately, it seems like it's been so much going on. I kind of it seems like it'd be so much. It's kind of hard to process everything. especially when it comes to death, because it seems like it's just like one after another.
After
You
another,
know?
after another, after
So,
another.
so it's like you ain't processed this, and now I got to deal with that.
Yeah, man. Because as soon as Gemini died, my man Prince Marky D passed. I'm like, damn. It was then right before Gemini was Ecstasy from
Then
Houdini,
law
Buddy,
passed. He
and
loves
Law
cousin.
too.
Law.
Yeah, I'm look. That's crazy. Here go the obituary right here. In this thing right
Man,
here. Yeah, yeah, man. So yeah, and Law, man, he loves some Dave Tolliver, man. I was sad that I couldn't be there. I tried to do the Zoom thing, but I guess they didn't work it out, man. But
yeah,
you know, man, I just had. I'm thinking of when I met y'all like in '89, and I'm like, damn, it's 30 years later. 99, oh 09, 19. It's 32 years later. I was
yeah.
19 when I started going down there. You know, I was a hot young dude on the radio, driving back and forth. What's the girl name I used to like down there? I can't even remember her name. She Love hooked me up with it. You know, She Love.
Oh,
Not Buffy.
oh
Not Buffy. Nah, nah,
no,
nah.
Dion.
Yeah. Yeah, man. How you remember that? That's crazy.
She
Yeah.
lived out. I remember she lived out in Jackson.
Yeah, man. I used to, man. Look, and this was like before my mom had passed. She was like, David, this long distance phone bill is high. This bill high as shit. Who you been calling in Canton, Ohio? That was before the cell phone, man. Gee whiz. You see love
Yeah.
talking about don't get him in it. You was the facilitator, homie. You
Hey,
was you was the liaison, bro.
man, see love always running Phil Jackson plays.
My God, man. Y'all, I used to love being down there more than I love being at home.
Man, you come down, we just have a ball. It was organic, man. We have a good time.
And
And that's why it's like it was so crazy when we lost P Shell. I was like, wow,
it,
that was a major part of the crew, man.
it did not seem like it was real, man. Until
At all.
until I saw him laying there. It just did not seem real. It just didn't
Yeah, I,
feel real, man. But we keep going because that's what he would want. He'd be like,
yeah,
Muggs be, his thing was Muggs. Everything was,
yeah,
yeah, man, Muggs be, y'all Muggs got to keep going, man. Y'all got to keep, and you kind of, we've been around we watched his transition as a man, dude.
yeah.
We watched his transition as a man. We watched him become a leader of men from being I don't want to say a destructor of men, but coming from his life. I remember, man, I remember performing at Don Poncho's. I think that was the first time I met him. And he set me up. Y'all Cat Boys always took care of me, man. Jesus Christ, man. Don Poncho's.
Wow, you went there.
Man.
You went,
And then,
man.
going to Benny Connor's place, getting clothes and stuff like that. He was there hanging out. Wow.
Yeah,
Wilding.
yeah. He had came a long way. I still remember our last text messages back and forth. When he was in the hospital, and it was weird because he's saying all this good stuff. I'm kind of reading in between the lines. I'm like, hold up, what's really going on? Like, and it seemed like he was prepared.
That's what his wife says. And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. My sister was in love with that Alice the Goon looking nigga, man. When she was on her deathbed, he calls. I say, talk to him. He say, yeah, anything. They talking. Dude, she trying to talk. She trying to talk like she trying to get up and go meet this dude somewhere. Then he proceeds to tell me that he needs a heart. I was like,
Yeah,
then 3 weeks later, he gone. I'm like, geez, man. But this is just a process that we're going through in life. And, what I'm learning in therapy is that I told her that I said, every time I have to sing so alone or do something like that, it drains me. And she said, flip that around and just look at the good deed that you did for the family. Because that song, man, it resonates different for other people than it does for me. You know, it's
Yeah.
healing for people. It's a get me through this situation. It's a rock for me. Every time I sing that song, all I remember is my mom on that slab. That's it. And at one point, I wanted to never sing that song again because we kept losing so many people. But damn, if we don't sing that song, we ain't getting no shows. Because,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you know, it's kind of like we got I don't want to say we have a cult following, but we have a consistent following. When people come to the shows, they know all the records. Like as I watch to see who knows what, so I can gauge to see how to change the show up. But when they get to that damn song, then they be going berserko. Lighters up, camera phones flashing, everybody crying. They wanting to come on, especially if it's a small venue. Cats want to come on stage. Man, let me come up there, man, my nigga, yo. I'll be like, all right, come on, man. Before you know it, I'll be having 20 or 30 people on stage.
Man, it means something to people, and you should feel real proud that you have something like that in your archive that is so meaningful.
Man,
That's part of your legacy right there. Like that song has gotten people through some of the worst times. Somebody that done lost their mama, somebody that done lost their uncle, their daddy, or their child. Cause didn't you come down for 314's
y'all sang
uh
funeral, yep.
something?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, first of all, you can't even put a dollar amount on what that song even mean to people, man.
That's no cap.
That's
That's real talk. That's real spill. And you know, I had to come to grips with that and just kind of like bite the bullet, man. But man, this therapy I'm in now, I'm tackling some things within my family that I probably been holding in for some years. We ain't even tackling the death part, but we tackling just the stuff that I feel kind of betrayed by some people. And some
mm,
people, if I told you the names, you'd be like, what? Really? Not him? I'd be like, yeah, him, because da 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 da. I'll tell you off camera, but you know,
yeah.
but yeah, man, a lot of stuff, man. You know, and through the course, I found the relationship with my biological father, man. You know, I grew up in a domestically abusive home. He was a monster to my drug head, a monster to my mother, and was beat her and then would whoop on me for no reason and stuff like that. Now we like this. You know, I had to I challenge everybody. We have so many secrets in the black family, man, where we
Yeah.
hide everything. And my aunt and my uncle, my great aunt, great uncle, they were 94 and 95 when they died a few years back. And if they had been alive, they'd have been married for 72 years. So then my cousin proceeds to tell me, you know, I'm not Uncle John's. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, you know, she had an affair on him, but they stayed together. And a woman having then she was like, well, your grandmother, she wanted to follow behind your aunt because da da da, and you know that your youngest aunt ain't really your dad's. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's part of, you know, she used to, and then she proceeded to tell me about how my grandfather used to do the same thing to all the kids and to my grandmother. And I'm like, but before this time, I had told him that I wanted us to. I said, I can't bring back the years. And I said, if I don't find a way to forgive this man, it's going to kill me. It's going to kill me.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time when I speak, because I do a little motivational speaking too, and I tell them, I said, sometimes forgiveness is not for that person that raped you or hurt you or beat you or stole from you or killed somebody in your family. That forgiveness is for you, man. And if you don't figure out a way to navigate those waters, you will drown. And I was headed there because I'm not y'all know I ain't no violent dude. Something went down in Canton, y'all had to protect me because I'm not no I ain't no punk, but I'm not no violent dude. I didn't want to fight.
Right.
I'd rather F than fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
especially,
No doubt. No doubt.
especially in Canton back in my day, hanging out at Trav Lou spot. What? Trav Lou? Oh my God, man.
Oh,
Some of my greatest memories, Mr. G's Wings, my greatest
man.
memories being down there in Canton at Chili's, Cavassier. Oh my God. I remember, where was we at? What was the one downtown where the lady owned it? Was that Cavassier? Or that was
Shan, yeah,
Chandelier,
Cavassier.
Cavassier.
Wait,
And I remember one
yep.
he's in there and cats started shooting while we was in there. Man, yeah, man,
Yeah,
Jesus,
I done been there a few times and it's been some shooting shit. Man,
Canton, Ohio.
but we still here.
Yeah, man, we on the wake up list, and that's what I strive for every day is to keep my head clear. Because if the head ain't right, you might not wake up the next day. Because this is the major cog, and if that thing ain't spinning right, man, everything hurt. You know, it's just like with this pandemic, man. The biggest thing is in the scare, the panic. You know, those that can't take care of themselves and don't know how to navigate through it or can't afford to get through it, or the elderly, the one that those are the ones that they really want to, you know what I'm saying, without going deep into that shit, the
Right.
ones. And you know, I just pray for them, you know. But I think the number got called wrong. Like I sound like in Boys in the Hood with the Doughboy said, "Yeah, man, I just think you know the wrong number got called on Ricky." I think this was a mistake, you know. But like I said in my video to Gemini's tribute, I was like, for the last few years, he was getting closer and closer to God, and he loved his church, and he was working, you know, gospel music, and he loved his pastor and all kinds. He was just like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna be good, dude. The Lord got me covered. I'm covered. I'm prayed up. I'm prayed up. It's kind of like a Sheldon situation. Like I don't really know. I know some of the latter hardships he was going through, and I'm talking about Sheldon, but Jim and I know he had been through so much, man, so much, and lately, you know, physically some problems and stuff. But I just never would have thought that would have happened to him, you know. And then I had to learn, you know, that sometimes, you know, we sit up here and we praying and praying and praying to keep somebody here, but they take it already punched. And
Yeah,
we selfishly holding them here, you know, laying hands, doing tongues like you in a Busta Rhymes remix record over and over and over again, thinking they gonna get up and walk. But they take it, they path, the door is already, they got their key, they got their suite,
yeah.
they got their first class ride, and they already on their way. And sometimes, you know,
A lot of them don't even want to be here no more. They done hit a point and they done come to terms with everything. Like, I'm out.
yeah.
Peace.
And so they just buy into it. You know, that's where we at, man. And you know, the cycle don't stop. You know, lately I've just been referring to what my uncle slash dad used to say when he got off the radio. He say, "Believe in God because God is love. Love is what the world needs now." He said, "There's nothing in life that's guaranteed but birth the beginning and death the ending, but that middle part is on you." So man,
Yeah,
you don't know when the
I
credits gonna roll, dude. So I'm trying every day. I'm trying to do something to make sure that I'm doing something towards, you know, making sure my legacy is dope when I'm out of here.
All right, let me ask you this. On the music side and the social side, how come it seems like there's not too much music being put out that reflects society as it is now? Like you know how like back in the day, especially the 60s, a lot of music was really coming out about what was really going on. And it don't seem like we had that no more. How you
Uh,
feel about that?
People don't. I don't think the powers that be, or the people on the whole, care about healing the people. I just don't think that, because there are a lot of songs, like you got to find them, unfortunately. Like you said, back in those days, you had the Black Power songs, you had "We Are the World," you had all kinds of songs like that that promoted healing of the land, healing of communities, and just positivity. But now, you know, especially on the black side, is, you know, popping a seal, popping a perk. My girl got a girlfriend, bust it open. I got that WAP, Captain Hook. I mean, I blast you and your homie. I pull your wig back and all. I mean, we've been pushing the wig back for a long time with rap, but
Yeah.
now it's just not even. It's not even poetic. They just say it outright. I'm about to kill you, nigga. You already know. 9 shots to the dome. Yeah, you got to go. You know, I'm just. I mean, back in the day, it was, you know, it was uh It's my favorite record. To all the killers in the $100. I got you
Mob
strung
Deep.
off the realness. We be the infamous. You heard of us. Official Queensbridge. Man, oh my God. You know, they put the words together so poetically, and now I don't know, man. I don't. I think the people that are the gatekeepers don't care about that, because if as strong as these young people are now, and they're strong and they're knowledgeable and they're powerful, if they were to unify, there would be nothing they could do to stop us except for to exterminate us like they did the Jews. But we doing it to ourselves. You know what I mean? And the Jews still came out on top. So I'm just saying. They on
That,
top.
that's something heavy though. That's heavy, and maybe they're using music to do that now.
They keep talking about this meeting that was talk that they had, where this was something that they wanted to do, because along with all these private prisons, and you know, my wife's an educator, and they base the prison population on the third grade test scores and stuff like that. So it's like they already got this set up, because they make so much money off of the privatized prisons and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if like when you saw George Floyd, and you saw how many people were out there, unified cultures, I think the bigger difference is now, when we were younger, we were separated. I know in my city, until they did the busing, it was blacks over here and just whites over there. It might have been different in y'all city because it was smaller, but in bigger cities, it was, you know, separated. But now, you know, my daughter goes to school with a bunch of white people. My son's at an HBCU, but before, he didn't go with a lot of white people, but the culture was still different, and the upbringing and the influence was different too. You got, you know, you look at all these shows on Disney and Nickelodeon, and they paint this picture of life, and you know, they're giving these kids these voices that we would have never had back in the day. They giving them, everybody's is you can be and whoever you want to be, speak your mind, be free, not knowing that these kids was raised in the 70s, 80s, they wouldn't have no teeth now in the 2010s and stuff like that, you know. um it's a culmination of things, man. It's a culmination of things, man. And we can sit down and cats will argue, no, it ain't that, it's this. But I think it's everything that everybody thinks it is combined. Whatever you think
Makes
the reason is that they won't make that type of music is part of the whole plan. Everything. There's no way that they will allow us to be unified. And I think even when you hear these stories coming out now about how, like the one night in Miami and different stuff like that, you have to think that there were more to these stories. They weren't just truth seekers and marchers for freedom all the time. They probably
right.
chicks. They had haters. They had cats that was trying to blind. I mean, it's everything. I mean, look at the Malcolm X. It's always
Yeah.
been dissension within our community, man. I mean, I get it. You know, you want a little better. You want to be in the house instead of out in the field. But in the long run, they still look at you like you a nigga. So, I mean, you go down fighting with the team, or you win for a little while and then they take you out anyway.
Mm.
I don't know.
That's heavy. That's heavy. And it's crazy how you mentioned One Night in Miami. I thought that was very thought provoking film, man. And and it's probably so much more they really could have put to that.
I have to watch that movie twice because it reminded me of us being on the road. It reminded me of us being on the road, just like, yeah, you had Malcolm X and he was a freedom fighter, a minister, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, who was, you know, when you look at him in the movie, they showed how he liked women and stuff like that, and would go from one to the next. I mean, Jim Brown, man, come on, man, we didn't see that for ourselves. No disrespect to Big Bro, Big Unk, but yeah, man, it's some stories, and they've probably done a good job of protecting, you know, the Martin Luther Kings, all of them. They good job of protecting them, because everybody has a dark side, man. Everybody,
That's why.
pastor, your rabbi, your minister, whatever he is that leads some type of God-fearing community, or just a upholding citizen, they have a dark side. Everybody does. I don't care what you say. Everybody got a dark side.
Probably the same reason they don't want to tell you the full story of Jesus.
Yeah, because if we knew that power, if everybody knew that power, it'd be crazy. We all have a black every 4 years.
Because there's a gap to where, like, this dude just, what happened? What he doing?
Where he go? Right.
Yeah.
He was born and then he was 25. It's some stuff missing.
Yeah, unfortunately, and that's the sad part about history. But I think with the new technology and things in place, it's important for us to tell our history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like it's important for you to tell your history, because you're iconic to a lot of people. You've been in the industry, you've been in the ins and outs, so you are a piece of history as well. So it's important for you to tell your story as it is, as opposed to somebody who never knew you, never did nothing with you. Oh, I'm telling Dave Tolliver story.
Nah. And you know what's crazy? Silver B, he hit me in the gut the other day when he called me after Gemini practice. Said, "Yeah, man, you need to tell your story, Dave. You need to tell your story. While he said, while your uncle's still alive." I said, "Damn." I said, "Don't do me like that, man," because I was like, "Yeah, man." So, see, love, there go your project. Do the Dave Tolliver or the Dave and Jason story, because I believe, it probably wouldn't get some of the networks, but I guarantee you we probably can get it on Amazon or Netflix, or
Yeah, definitely. That's where it's at right now, though. That's where it's at. That's where you want to be.
take the back end money.
Yeah.
It would be iconic, because I'm in that Clubhouse app I was telling you about, and you just never know how many people love what you've done when you don't think that you've achieved as much as you wanted to. There are people that exalt you on the same levels as some of these groups that have sold hundreds of millions of records. And then when people don't know, they get mad and have to school them and say, search them and all this other stuff. And I really appreciate that, man. It's a blessing, it's an honor, and I'm grateful. So we still here, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, see, love, you're gonna have to go ahead and that's your project.
Yep.
2021, see, love, that's your project right there, man.
Yep.
Now you got something to do.
And all we need is certain scenes. We just got to get two fat kids, we wasn't that big when we was kids, two semi-fat kids to play us as kids, do a sizzle on that one with our moms and all that other stuff. We got some stories. And if nothing else, you can call Jason's mom. She's still here. Then as teenagers working at the radio station, man, that's some cold shit.
Yeah, that's dope. Especially the whole radio station part, because the radio station is a movie itself.
Oh my God. I used to get in so much trouble down there. David, don't have anybody down at the station, man. Don't bring anybody to the station. And I worked 1 to 6 in the morning, dog. I used to have the station flooded with people, chicks, my homies. Oh my God, we used to be kicking it down there. And I was like, all right, they ready, come in, y'all got to get ready. And oh man, a couple times he caught me. He would come in because he was notorious for working late at night. I was like, oh shit. We had at one of the buildings though, we had a door out the back, and they'd be like, your uncle came in. I'd be like, go out the back, go out the back, go out the back. Yeah, man.
That's crazy. So you working on this Clubhouse thing, or has that you already finished that, or that's still in process?
House thing is a everyday thing, man. You got to get in there. You should go over to Steve Love's house and tell him to pull up the app on Sissy's iPad, because that's how he comes in. And it's something, you got a lot of podcasters, radio broadcasters, voiceover people, actors, producers, singers, music guys, groups. I mean, everybody's in there. And then you got, Silicon Valley guys. That's what the app was started out for. It's man, there's so many people in there. I got on the app when it was like 60,000 people. Now it's about I think 4 million people on there, 3 or 4 million people or more. And they're not even finished yet, because they haven't even opened it up to Android users. So
Mm,
yeah, that's gonna be crazy once they open the joint up.
that's what's up. So, and what are you doing musically right now?
Well, we got that Minute Large project coming this year. We get ready probably we're trying to drop a single next month sometime. We just did photo shootings and different stuff like that. But right now, man, I'm doing some Southern soul, man. It's like blues mixed with R&B. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, man, I have to send you that too. Right now, my record's charting right now. It's called Love Like This. And it's about, finding love, trying different ways to find love, but everybody's scared to be naked. So what do you do?
what made you want to kind of go with that format, like on the blues type vibe?
Man, it's something that I always love, but it's just at the time, I don't know, man. I just kind of fell in love with it, man. I'm always at these events down here,
Hmm.
Black Radio Programmers Coalition down here in Atlanta, but they nationwide, and they always have these events, and these cats come in there in these big loud suits still, and then it's just the music is such a good feel, and I like telling stories, man. I love telling stories. The whole project is going to be called Aunt Gail, Aunt Minnie, Granny Smith, because those were the three ladies that influenced me to the blues. And it's not real hard blues, but it's the record Love Like This is it's probably the no, it's not the most Southern soul, but it's got a blues R&B vibe to it, man. I've been playing it for some young people and old people, and they dig it. It's the kind of music that you put on at your barbecue and everybody going crazy.
Kind of, sort of borderline like the Anthony Hamilton type.
Yeah, like the Anthony Hamilton, Calvin Richardson, Sir
Okay.
Charles, what's my name? Lenny Williams is doing Southern Soul now too. So yeah, girl, I love you,
Well, you at it. You just just being creative, having fun with it.
man. And I'm going for years. My uncle kept telling me do a Christmas album. I keep pussyfooting around with that, and I could have had 25 years of residuals from that. I'm gonna do a covers album that I started. I was gonna start on some years ago, but just like different songs, like doing "The Gambler" or "Lady" by Kenny Rogers. I definitely me and my daughter. If I can get her to not charge me too much, we're gonna do "Unforgettable" like Nat and Natalie. I really want to do that. That'll be a nice little legacy piece for me with her. So and she a monster.
And you really big on this legacy thing. That's what's dope. Go ahead and
I mean,
put your stamp on
and
this
it's
shit,
not
man.
just my legacy as an artist, but it's my legacy as a man. And man, I've been to a couple funerals where I heard. I don't think anybody would do this to me, but I've been to a couple funerals where I heard, yeah, we all know he wasn't a good father, but da 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 da, and they kept repeating it through the whole damn service. And then I sang at this lady's funeral. Well, my mom, she was getting high, and she was leaving me home by myself, and she abandoned me. But we worked. I'm like, I don't want none of that. Everything ain't gonna be good, but I don't even want them to have any kind of thoughts like that of me when it come time for that. Period. Even though you know what I'm saying. So I'm just. It wasn't really much to clean up. I know that I've been a better father than what I've had. But I always tell my kids, man, everything that I did wasn't right. I said, but I want don't you the things that I've done right that you think were right, apply them to your life. But I said the things that I've done wrong, I said, think about it. Think about was it wrong because you didn't like it, or was something wrong? And there's some things that I've done that are wrong. But was it wrong because you didn't like it, or it was wrong because it was wrong? And I say apply that or don't apply it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I think legacy in your history is closing that book. Like I ain't closing the book. Let me not say that, but just making sure the script to your life, your movie life, is dope. That is interesting. That there's always something going on. There's always a climatic turn somewhere, man. And that's all I'm just trying to keep doing is just keep making climatic turns, man.
That's what's up. Shout out to Jason Champion who just hopped in here.
Young
Your
Pat
man.
here. Young Pat here. What up, boy? He must have smelled me talking about him.
Oh man, that's what's up though. So you in a good place, it's safe to say.
But besides the hurt, yeah, I'm in a good place, man. You know, my money decent. I'm living pretty good. Get ready to move again. You know, I kind of got another son I never had in the house. You know, when my sister passed, I got my nephew here, and him and my daughter's relationship is, man, it's like they brother, and I love it. I love it to see them too, because they both needed each other, and I'm glad he's here, but I'm not glad because of the circumstance. But I'm glad I'm able to be there for him because, man, he was on his way to being somewhere that nobody wanted to hear about, dead or alive. You know what I'm saying? And so I got him, and I'm gonna make sure that he gonna do something with his life. He got the honor roll for the first time in his life, and he on his way. He on his way.
Man, it's that's dope when you can be a blessing.
Yeah, man.
You know, a lot of people want to be blessed, but you don't really see a lot of people trying to be a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like I said, people don't care anymore, man. And I understand why, because everybody's going through something. It's rough right now. People don't know if they're coming or going. They don't know if this pandemic thing is real or not. You know, until it hits their family, they don't really believe it or know. Um, you know, so the world is kind of, especially, I don't know about everybody else, but I know here the world is in shambles. They do things medically and financially different in other countries, which is their systems are way better, and I guess you would call it more lenient as opposed to how they do things here. Because America could give a damn whether you live or die or starve. It don't really make a difference.
Yeah, because I just seen a headline today. Not I didn't really look into it too much. I was busy. Something about Bill Gates, something about possible third shot. I'm like, first of all, two is too many.
Yeah,
For one thing, I'm like, that's some new shit. You know, you get a flu shot, you keep it moving.
and it seems like I'm scared to take the vaccine, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I
I ain't fooling.
I'd rather take my chances, just keep going with my mask on, because I don't ever get sick anyway. I'd rather just take my chances like that and not even take it. If they make us take it, I might leave the country. Jail, doggy.
Hey, you see your boy Stevie Wonder supposed to be going to Ghana?
He trying to get his hairline back. That's all that is. And I'm like, all the doctors in Ghana for helping me get my twist of hair back. Yeah, man.
They gonna dig up some special roots for him and rub it up in there or something.
Goat hair. Very good. Goat hair.
Oh, that's crazy. My man. I want to thank you for your time, man.
Anytime.
Beautiful conversation.
You know I love you, man. We brothers, man. You already know. We don't talk as much, but I guess we got to change that. Like I've been telling everybody, man. And you will probably move before C Love. I'll be like, man, I'm in town. Come to Cleveland. He be like, I'm gonna come up down here today. And he had, oh man, my car, or and this, or sissy that. You lying, man. You sitting at home, dude, lying.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But
You got any last minute shout outs you want to throw out to
I
your
just
people?
folks in here, Chrissy, my girl Chrissy, C Love. I don't know everybody that stayed. My man, only one poetic. Everybody that's on here that stayed and watched in and out, man. I appreciate y'all. Oh, Celeste in here. What up, Celeste? Alicia Rocks. Oh, that's Alicia Ho. Her name is Alicia Ho. That's her real name. That's her real name too. You know what I mean? What's up, Renee? James Worthy in the building. Dominique Jackson. And man, just everybody that watch, man, everybody that'll watch after this, man, you know, just God bless, man. Stay strong. Be smart, man. Wear a mask, wear two. Stay your ass. Don't come to Atlanta for All-Star Weekend. Don't bring your asses down here. Stay home. Watch it on TV. Don't come down here. This place is gonna be overrun with people to see. Watch. Because in other cities, they can't go out. So they like, shit, we going to Atlanta, cuz. I thought we were the long way. We going to ATL. ATL.
You know they just lifted the curfew here not too long ago.
Hey man, I mean, this has probably been the worst thing for me, all this stuff happening. You know, the accident, my sister, Sheldon, And then boom, I couldn't go nowhere. I was doing like, you know, about 2 or 3 events a week down here. You know, I'm in the house with everybody here. My son, my daughter, my nephew, my mother-in-law, my wife. I'm like, Jesus, cow guy.
My man. My man. All right, I appreciate you, my brother.
I love you, man.
All right, love you back.
Be easy.
You too. Peace.